It was always hot in my grandparents' house. And I'm not talking I should have worn short sleeves hot. No, I'm talking it's August in Ethiopia hot. I can remember sitting in their living room, sweating, trying to figure out my relation to these people who not only didn't seem to share my same environmental needs, but who had also reached an age I could barely comprehend. But my grandparents believed in the 3 F's of life: faith, family, and food. So every Sunday for 29 years, I bore the heat and religiously showed up for dinner.
The very day I turned 14, my father put me on a boat. In my pocket, he stuffed 200 lira and an address of a cousin in a place called Hoboken, New Jersey. The only advice my father gave me was tango familia. If you just said that in English, it would be, I support a family. But in Italian, it means more, much more. I am a man. I will do well for my woman and my children. I have a reason for being alive.
Tango familia.
I arrived and I found out that my cousin had left Hoboken for a faraway land called Brooklyn. So for the next 6 weeks, I lived underneath the pier off the Hudson River. And from there, I tried to figure out how to earn enough money so I could get back home.
I was the middle sister of 7 girls, and Frank was the first person, no, the first man to ever notice me. He was earning $1 a day as a carpenter's apprentice, and I thought that was a fortune. He promised that if I married him, he'd become a fine carpenter, and he'd build for me, an entire house. And he did. He became a wonderful carpenter, and he built for me this beautiful home.
My grandmother, Ada, never made it through grammar school. Never even learned how to drive a car. But you locked her in a kitchen with a tomato, pasta dough, and garlic, and the woman was Einstein. By my 29th birthday, my parents had moved to Florida, and my sister Melissa to San Diego. Before she left, my sister told me that the best thing about being an American is you can move 2,000 miles away from your family and still be in the country. But I stayed near my grandparents. Every Sunday, I took the bus in from the city. But one Thursday, something happened. Something important. And what I had to tell them couldn't wait. Hey, Gramps. Hey, Nanny.
Nick, your grandmother's going to tell you to do something for her. Refuse.
Nicholas! Oh, you have to do something for me. But first, are you hungry?
Man, like I said on the phone, I have to make this announcement.
He has no time to do you any favors, Ada.
What did you have for dinner?
Chinese food.
Chinese?
Man.
You're telling me that's food?
Well, everyone eating it seemed to think so, yes.
30 years ago, I had dinner at a Chinese restaurant. To this day, I have no idea what I ate. I'll make you food.
Man, I'm full.
Fine, I'll make you a sandwich.
Man.
But you look hungry.
How? Tell me exactly how do I look hungry?
You're breaking my heart, Nicholas.
All right. A small sandwich.
What would you like on it?
I don't care.
How about provolone and ham?
Perfect.
Good. I'll make a provolone and ham sandwich. You tell your grandfather he can't drive no more.
What?
Don't listen to her, Nick.
2 days ago in the Grand Union parking lot, he puts the car in reverse and goes forward.
I thought it was reverse. I put it in second.
Right into a Japanese car.
I barely dented the fender.
Thank God no one was killed. 2 weeks ago at the 7-Eleven, he means to step on the brake. He steps on the gas pedal.
We went very fast, about 2 feet.
Right into a Japanese car. Oh, thank God no one was killed.
Gramps, we've talked about this. You really shouldn't be driving anymore.
You're telling me what to do? I used to change your diapers.
You've told me. I appreciate it.
He never changed your diapers.
Gramps, it's getting dangerous with you behind the wheel.
I get in the car with him and I scream the entire way.
She's a real pleasure to drive with.
All right. Man, why don't you go make the sandwich and I'll talk to him about the driving. And can we turn on the air conditioner? It's sweltering in here.
That's crazy. It's only June.
But it's hot.
The air conditioner doesn't go on to the 4th of July.
I'll open the window. You, listen to your grandson.
Look, Gramps, you know something terrible could happen.
So, what are you telling me?
I know you have to take Nanny around, but she can walk or take the bus.
I only go close by, that's all.
But you're still getting into accidents.
So what are you saying? I'm too old to drive?
Your reflexes are just getting a little slow.
Well, I'm on a provolone. Cheddar or Munster?
Oh, whatever, man.
Well, I want to make it the way you like it.
How can you make it the way I like it? I don't even want it.
Don't talk fresh. Cheddar or Munster?
Cheddar.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, Ann. 100%. I want the cheddar.
But I got such a nice Munster.
This is the woman you're listening to, so I don't drive?
Fine, Nan. Munster. I want the Munster.
Oh, I thought so.
Gramps, I don't want to get a phone call saying you hurt yourself, or Nan, or someone else.
Yeah. My first car, a 1941 DeSoto. It cost $53 more than I could spend. But when I laid actual eyes on it, the chrome wheels, the black leather inside, a dashboard that was the most beautiful sight I ever saw. Bellissimo. I worked 3 months nights, shoveling coal into some restaurant furnace, so I could make up that 53. And when I bought the car, when I actually sat behind that dashboard and held that brand new steering wheel in my hand, I knew I could make a life for my family. If I could just own that car, I knew I could make a life. Tango Familia!
Thanks.
I got another set of my tools.
Just promise you'll only drive in an emergency.
Yeah.
I was the first in my family to get a job with the union in the Ford's automobile factory. And the way I got the job, see, was I told them I was Irish. Dark Irish. I had to, because back in those days, the only famous Italians in America were the Pope and Sacco and Vincetti. And then you look at us and think Pope? No, Sacco and Vincetti.
My father's folks, Nunzio and Emma, they lived 2 doors down, and every Sunday they'd join us, and we'd share Sunday dinner. Both the children of hard-working but destitute immigrants. They married at 17 and had 2 sons. My father and his brother Nick, who was killed in Korea.
The day I married Nuns, my mother sat me down and told me something amazing. She said, Emma, just because you're his wife doesn't mean you're not as important as him. Speak up, say what you feel. Don't become like one of those women who gets lost behind their family. Ah!
So I told Fords my name was Ian Sean O'Malley O'Brien O'Sullivan. And they gave me a job.
So while Nuns went to work, I made us a beautiful life at home.
I stood in that assembly line, put this nut into that bolt for 27 years to give my wife and sons the life they deserved.
We struggled, but we made our way because we were a family. Tango Familia!
Tengo familia!
Tango Familia!
They were the loudest people I ever met.
You put Nicky
Hey, what a pleasure to see you on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. Like I said, I
Nicky,
have
first, I want to take a picture
of what?
of you.
Why?
I got 2 pictures left in this roll since Easter.
Look,
See how your grandmother is smiling.
Gramps, I've got this announcement.
It's 1 picture.
Gramps.
1 picture!
Did she hand us?
All right, Gramps, shoot.
But you don't look happy.
I'm not happy.
Oh, why the hell would I want to take a picture of you if you don't look happy?
Nuns, make this copy, I'll pay you for it.
Okay, 1 more.
No, Gramps, enough with the pictures. Nan, can you get back in here, please?
Nicky, you know that present you bought for us, the one we don't know how to use?
The answering machine?
No, that's the other one, the CPU.
VCR.
I need the receipt.
It broke?
No, we just hate it.
No, we don't hate it. It's just too expensive. We can't enjoy it.
Why are you worried about the expense? I bought it for you.
Just give us the receipt and we'll give you back the money.
But I don't want the money.
It's too much to spend for us on a PCB.
It was your 60th anniversary present.
Fine, we'll keep $10.
Look, can we talk about this later? What I have to say is
Hey,
really...
Nicky, guess what? Your grandmother wants to drag me again next Tuesday.
I'm sorry if I like to go places and do things. I'm a doer.
Atlantic City with the senior citizens from St. Andrews.
Can we talk
You're
about...
standing traffic with a busload of 80-year-old Catholics all holding these giant bags of quarters. It's awful.
Listen to what he's complaining about. They give you a free air-conditioned bus ride, and then they give you $30 free in chips.
Look, I've got this
You know what I did last time we went? I walked into Donald Trump's, cashed in my $30 chips, found a $5 buffet, ate all day, and came home with $25 profit.
I told him he couldn't keep the money. The Catholic Church gave him the money to gamble. Sunday you put it back in a poor box.
I'm not putting it in the poor box. We're poor. I'm giving it to Nicky.
We are not poor.
Why are you giving me $25?
I don't know. She won't let me keep it.
Well, I forgot if you said cheddar or mustard, so I put on both.
How did I come from these people? My parents, maybe I can understand. But these people?
Nicholas ate Chinese food tonight.
Ugh, that's like eating cancer.
He also said I can't drive anymore.
Good, the world just got safer.
Look, I'll give you the receipt for the VCR. We'll talk more about the driving, and I'll eat the sandwich. Now, can everybody please take a seat? I'd like to say what I have to say now.
Oh, he's getting married.
How's he getting married? You don't even have a girlfriend.
I am not getting married.
Why not?
Look, can we save it for the holidays when we always have it?
What about Donna?
No, I will not discuss Donna. That subject is closed. I broke up with her 2 years ago.
I thought she broke up with you.
She did. He was dragging his feet.
Look, let's change the subject, please.
But she had such nice hair.
I was so sure you were going to get engaged, Nikki. Every time I went to a party, I used to take all the extra plastic knives and forks and save them for your wedding shower. I'll get it.
Man, just let the answering machine get it.
No, that machine broke.
How did it break? I just got it for you.
I threw it out. Every time I pressed the button, somebody was yelling at us.
That was people leaving you messages?
Nikki, before I'm dead, I want to see you married.
Let me know when you feel you're going. I'll see who I can dig up.
Nicholas, it's your parents. Nicholas ate Chinese food tonight.
Why'd your parents move to Florida?
Oh, God only knows. For the first 56 years of their life, they lived nice and close to their parents.
Who raised them?
Then boom, your father develops a sinus condition, they decided to retire early and move to Fort Lauderdale.
To live with a bunch of old people who love humidity.
Frank, come say hello.
You know, you're a good boy staying close to your family, Nicky.
It's long distance. Talk fast.
Hi, your son said I can't drive no more. Come visit soon. We'll sit in my car, pretend it's moving.
Then your sister gets married and moves to San Diego.
Who the hell moves to San Diego?
Nan, Gramps, please.
Nicholas, your mother said to call her after you tell us. She wants to know if we take it well.
Well, we'll all find out in a moment now. If everyone could just please sit.
Are you going to sit?
No, I want to do this standing up.
Oh, it's like he's going to make a speech.
If he wants to make a speech, let him make a speech.
It's not a speech. Can I please tell you now?
But before you start, who's hungry?
Oh, man, this is a one-sentence announcement. You don't have to cater it.
But I got a new crumb cake.
Oh, with the big crumbs?
From the A&E.
I'm in.
I'll take a sliver, but a healthy sliver.
I want a really big piece.
Don't announce anything yet, Nicholas.
Nan.
Nikki, honey, before I forget, I got you a mask card.
A mask card? Aren't these for sick people?
evening mass at St. Anne's is gonna be set for you.
Why?
In the hopes you'll find a girl to marry.
And the priest agreed to this?
Hey, go to the mass, you'll meet her there.
Hey, Nicky, if you go, whatever you do, don't talk to Father Vincenzo.
Oh, not with Father Vincenzo again.
Hey, 15 years ago, him and I had a big falling out.
About what?
I don't know, I just remember being right.
Okay, here we are.
Oh, thank God. Can I please start now? It's chilly.
Wait, I feel a draft.
Oh, me too. What's open?
Oh, it's 110 degrees in here.
We're old, we're chilly.
Oh, Lord, I forgot all about it.
Oh, thank goodness you got that, Nan. For a moment, you almost let some air seep into the room. Now, does everyone have their crumb cake? Is anybody disturbed by any unbearable? Oh.
Drink your coffee lunch, I'll pay you for it.
Can I please tell you now?
What you getting so upset about?
Oh, he was always anxious. Remember how he used to chew on his rattle?
Can we not tell the rattle story right now?
We're just trying to understand you better, Nicky.
Oh, and the rattle story just explains it all? I don't even know why I bother going to therapy.
What?
Nothing. I said nothing.
He said he's going to therapy.
What the hell is that?
A psychiatrist.
A foot doctor? What?
Nicholas, you're seeing a head doctor?
Oh my God.
Oh, look, it's no big deal. All my friends are in therapy. It's just someone to talk to.
What kind of friends do you have?
Look, I said it's no big deal.
Can't you talk to us?
How? I can't even get this announcement out.
Do you pay this person or is it covered by insurance?
I really don't want to talk about this right now.
I hope you don't pay this person.
Nicholas, we listen to your problems for free.
A priest or two, Nicky. Do you want us to call a priest?
She's always calling a
Oh,
priest.
shut up. I'm talking to my grandson.
The other day, my back hurt. I hear her on the phone to the parish.
Tell us your problems right now, Nicholas.
I come out of the bathroom, Father Brunelli's standing there waiting to bless my spine.
Look, I am seeing this therapist, yes, but I won't be seeing him much longer.
Oh, thank God.
And that ties in with my announcement. Can I please tell you now?
Go ahead,
Go ahead.
Nicholas.
Go ahead, it's all right. Go ahead, all right.
Okay.
Okay! Let me start with this. I was offered a promotion at work.
Congratulations.
Oh, wonderful, Nicholas.
What kind of promotion?
Well, it's a better management position.
Oh, tell.
I mean, I could, but you probably wouldn't understand. I mean, you don't really understand what it is I do now.
Well, just because we don't understand it doesn't mean we don't want to hear about it.
Okay, well, as I told you before, I work in marketing, which is advertising, you know, commercials. Except I don't actually make the commercials. How should I say, plan the overall strategy for commercials and various other type of media, like billboards and brochures and internal and external sales presentations. Well, with this new position, and this is really exciting, I'll be in charge of developing, coordinating, and implementing those strategies in a top 20 market.
Well, whatever the hell it is you do, we're damn proud of you.
Now see, the thing about the job is, I have to move.
Oh, out of the city? Oh, thank God.
Nicholas, you can move in with us.
Yeah, no rent, 4 meals a day.
No, see the job? It's in Seattle.
Where the hell is Seattle?
Oh, Rose Rinaldi has a beach house there, exit 94 on the Parkway.
Oh, she lives further down by the big
Wait,
food town.
stop. Seattle. Yeah, I know where Seattle is. Washington. Not the close Washington, but the far away Washington. By California, all the way by California.
Nicholas, is this true?
It's in Washington State, yes. Look, I just got the offer this morning. My head is still swimming, but it's a promotion. And now would be the time, right? I'm young, and unattached, and I mean, there's nothing really to keep me here. Well, yeah, except you.
So you're leaving?
Moving, yes.
Right, leaving.
I told my parents. They think it's a fantastic opportunity. And besides, I've grown up here, I went to college here, I've never lived anywhere else.
I've never lived anywhere else.
Look, I know this may come as a shock.
Shock? No, why would this be a shock? First your parents moved to Fort Lauderdale, then your sister moves to San Diego, gets married and has my great-grandson.
Gramps,
My great-grandson. I have one great-grandson, and he's 3 years old, and I've seen him exactly twice.
Gramps, please.
Do you know what that's like? I lived long enough to have a great-grandson. He has no idea who I am, or why I'm important to him. The last time we got off the plane, he saw me standing there with my arms outstretched, and he ran away. He thought I was just another old person. Another old person who wanted to annoy him with a hug.
Nicholas, I don't know if I understand. You're just going to go?
Look, the offer just came through this morning. I wanted to tell you first.
But your family's here, Nick.
Look, it's getting late. I've got to catch the next bus back to the city.
Nicky?
I got an 8 a.m. meeting about the promotion.
Well, we'll see you Sunday, Nicholas.
Oh, if we're still alive, God willing.
We'll talk more about it then, okay? And look, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Seattle?
He forgot his sandwich.
It's a 20-minute ride into the city. He'll make it without food.
Seattle?
Not to worry. He won't go.
You heard him. He said he wants to move away.
No, he did not say he wanted to move away. He said he had no reason to stay.
So?
So, we give him a reason.
I should tell him. I should tell him that the doctors have done their test and it has spread. I should tell him that if he takes the job and goes away, that it might be the last time we ever see each other. No one knows. Not even my Emma. Oh, I'll tell her soon. But I should tell him. And maybe he'll stay.
There's an unwritten rule in business. If you say no to a promotion, another one might not come along. The next morning, my boss pulled me in and said, "This opportunity means we have great faith in you. We have plans for something even bigger." As any young man can tell you, the lure of a new life is as seductive as any lover. The following Sunday, I returned for our weekly dinner, at which point I expected my grandparents to be laying the guilt on something fierce. But they didn't. They did something worse. Hey, Gramps.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, since when did you play the ukulele?
Since I was a little boy, my father taught me. Your grandmother found us at a garage sale the other day. So last night, I took a lesson they were having at the high school.
The high school? How'd you get there? You didn't drive.
I walked 45 minutes in the dark, there and back. If I dropped dead, I left specific instructions to have me delivered to your doorstep.
Hey, Gramps. Hey, what was the jackets and ties?
What, we can't get dressed up to see our grandson?
So anyways, about my move to Seattle. I suppose you both had time to mull it over, huh?
Hey, Nicky, have some nuts.
No, thanks. So how are you feeling?
We're good. Have some nuts, Nick.
No. How are you feeling about the promotion?
We're very proud.
Nicholas, are you hungry?
Hey, man. Hey, about Seattle.
We'll be eating soon. Why don't you fix your hair a little nicer?
Hi, Dan. What's going on? 3 days ago I told you about my promotion and you were all miserable. Now it's like I never even...
Hey, Nicky, how old are you now?
What? 29.
29 and no family.
You know, you're 8 years older than your Uncle Nicky ever was.
What? What brought that up?
I've just been thinking about him a lot lately.
Why?
Yoo-hoo, Nicky, how does your hair look?
I combed it into an afro, man, okay? Not exactly
very niece of my canasta pot.
Caitlin, come in. You're just in time for dinner.
Hi, Emma. Hi. Oh, if I knew there were so many of you, I would have brought 2 bottles of
Oh,
wine.
that's so thoughtful, Caitlin. Isn't that thoughtful of Caitlin, Vicky?
Can't believe you're doing this.
I'd like you to meet my handsome grandson, Nicholas.
Hi, it's Nick.
Hi, Nick. Great to meet you.
Oh, and I'm his other nanny. If you call her Emma, you call me Ada.
Well, absolutely. Hello, Ada.
And I'm Nunzio.
And I'm Frank.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Nunzio and Frank.
And Caitlin, I think you're the kind of girl any man would be lucky to have as a wife.
Nunzio, you are absolutely right.
Oh, Caitlin, just in time for supper. Everything came beautiful.
Before we eat, I'd just like a moment alone with Caitlin first.
It's working. It's working.
Did my grandmother happen to mention I'd be here tonight?
No, she didn't. No.
Okay, well, in case you haven't figured it out, this is a blind setup, so feel free to run like the wind.
Nick, relax. I hate being set up too. But Emma's my friend. It's no big deal. Besides, I have to say, dinner smells fantastic.
Yeah, that's their secret. They suck you in with the food.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to stay.
Are you sure? Because it is not too late to escape.
We'll just have a relaxing Sunday dinner.
Caitlin, even at my most generous moments, I would not describe these people as relaxing.
She's pretty, isn't she, Nikki?
Yeah.
I did good.
Okay, time to eat. Caitlin, you look hungry.
Oh
Come.
my god, oh my god.
Oh, Nicholas, why don't you sit here? Caitlin, very nice, very nice.
Okay, can we just eat now, please? Quickly.
Shall we say grace?
Since when do we say grace?
Shut up, we have company.
Say grace.
Really? Oh. All right. Everybody get ready. I'm going to say grace.
Okay, quiet.
All right.
Okay, say it loud.
All right.
Gramps, say grace.
All right. Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts we are about to receive. And bless our lovely dinner guests and our lovely grandson. May they find eternal happiness together. It's my prayer. I can say what the hell I want.
So, Caitlin, before I'm dead, I want to see Nikki married.
If not, I have to go with her.
Oh, Caitlin, I bet you like to drink.
How do you mean?
Well, you're Irish, aren't you?
Gramps,
What? The Irish like to drink, that's a secret.
Gramps, apologize now.
Well, actually, I don't mind having a pint or two now and then.
You see, life is to be lived. You know, Caitlin, the Irish used to hate you.
Okay, change the subject.
Caitlin, tell me, are you Brian?
Gramps, please.
Sure, don't you?
Funny you should ask.
He had to stop. He's been getting into accidents lately.
I've killed hundreds of people.
Caitlin, I made some lovely veal. Pick a piece.
Oh, no thank you, Ada. I'll just have the vegetables.
No, have some veal. It's nice from the shop right.
Oh, thank you, Ada, but I'm a vegetarian.
A vegetarian.
What the hell is that?
An animal doctor.
Very nice.
So she won't eat veal?
Well, she fixes animals so she don't eat them in the next time.
No, no. Vegetarian. I don't eat meat. My job is I'm a nurse.
She's an animal nurse?
Why do animals need nurses?
Trust me on this. Don't try to correct them. Just ride it out.
Well, whatever you're doing sounds very nice. Have some veal.
Well, I appreciate it, thank you.
No, not at all?
Well, I'm sorry. I should have told Emma before I came.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. Just have some veal.
The veal issue is closed. She doesn't eat the veal.
It's from the shop right, man.
Ada, that is so sweet of you, but really, just an extra forkful of vegetables would be great.
The squash is beautiful from my garden.
Well, it looks fabulous.
You can feed it to the pope.
The Pope would eat the veal, too.
So, Caitlin, tell me, how come a pretty girl like you doesn't have a boyfriend?
Caitlin, please do not answer that question.
It's okay, I don't mind. Well, Frank, I like to think it's just that I haven't met the right guy lately.
Well, maybe if you did a little something with your hair.
Caitlin, I would just like to take a moment to apologize. Basically, everything has been said this afternoon.
What? What did we say that's bad? Nuts, did we say anything bad?
No, we've been delightful.
Delightful?
Don't mind Nicky, Caitlin. He gets a little upset sometimes.
That's okay, I like passionate people.
What a nice way to say that.
See, we're not loud, we're passionate.
So, Nicky, Caitlin hasn't had a date in a while.
Man, that's personal information.
Actually, she's right.
You see, Nicky, we had a nice talk about it just the other day by the produce at Cat Park.
What did you buy in produce?
I don't remember.
She bought peppers.
Red peppers or green peppers?
Never buy red peppers at Pathmark.
Yeah, I got into an argument with the manager over the zucchini.
They're talking about food. Get comfortable.
Actually, the A&P has the freshest zucchini. What I like to do when I'm working late and I don't have time to cook, I saute a little yellow squash from the A&P, and I melt just a thin slice of provolone over the top, and I top it with a dash of Parmesan. Have it with some rye or Italian bread, preferably fresh from Marzoni's bakery. Makes the best late night snack.
She's a dream come true!
The funny thing is, she actually seems terrific. When your grandmother sets you up, you have every right to be disappointed.
Nick, say something attractive to Caitlin.
Grandpa,
Caitlin, Nicky has a wonderful job.
Yeah, we don't know what the hell he does, but it's fantastic.
I'm a marketing executive.
Oh, do you enjoy it?
Actually, yeah, I do, very much.
It ain't no animal nurse.
Shush, Frank, let the kids talk.
Sorry, go ahead you two. Pretend like we're not here.
Oh, if that's possible.
Now you're talking
I'm
fresh.
not talking fresh.
He's talking first.
Grant, quiet.
I'm angry, quiet, I'm passionate.
So, Caitlin, are you having a good time?
Absolutely.
Caitlin, we're glad you came.
You'll have to come back again soon. How about next Sunday?
Yeah, we eat together every Sunday, we're a family.
I have to say, it's rather amazing sitting here with all of you. I look at Nick and I think, how many grown adults get to have dinner with all four of their grandparents?
Ah, he's a lucky boy.
It's like hitting the lottery.
Caitlin, the next time you come for dinner, bring your grandparents with you.
Well, I'm sorry, Ada, they've all passed on.
Oh, so sorry.
But now you have us.
Aw, thank you, Frank.
So, Caitlin, do you go to therapy like Nicky?
Jesus, man!
Actually, we're a little ashamed.
Well, actually, I do go. For 2 years now, I like it.
Oh. But you seem so normal.
It's an act.
Oh.
You know, Nicky said all his friends are in therapy.
Oh, all right, I know it's only the first course, but are there any other personal revelations about me you'd like to share? Any bedwetting memories or anecdotes about drooling or...
Like, there's no reason to get upset.
Hey, should we tell a rattle story?
Nicky was an anxious baby. He used to chew on his breath.
Isn't that a great story?
And in the 9th grade, he got caught smoking dope.
Oh.
What? I thought we were telling stories.
You know, just so you know, this is working terrifically. From now on, I'm taking you four on all my dates.
I bet you'd all be great fun on dates. I bet you're all terrific dancers.
Oh, no! We won't let that stop us. Hey! Get down!
Could someone please pass the salt and a weapon?
So dinner went on a beautiful meal. We all enjoyed the veal, then a fresh tomato garden salad, then ravioli with eggplant on the side. Then we had coffee with recorded cheesecake and freshly baked anisette cookies. And all through this beautiful meal, I looked at my grandson and the lovely girl sitting beside him, and I thought, yes, oh yes, he has found his reason to stay.
everything was delicious, Ada. Thank you so much.
Oh, Caitlin, for tonight when you're watching TV, let me take the meal and I'll make you a sandwich. No trouble, no trouble.
Oh, man, get back here. Oh, Caitlin, you do not have to take the veal.
What's it gonna do, kill her?
Nan, please.
Oh, come on, Nick. It's no big deal. I'll take it.
Caitlin, you're our guest. You don't have
Oh,
to.
I know that, Nick.
Caitlin, we like you. We hope you come back very soon.
Oh, I really had a great time. You're all so sweet.
We're old, we're adorable.
Here we are.
Oh, thank you, Ada. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, it was lovely having you. Come back soon.
Come back anytime, sweetheart.
See you at Pathmark.
Oh my God, I am so sorry. I mean, deeply, deeply sorry.
Nick, don't apologize for anything.
No, I feel like I owe you something. Something expensive. How about you let me take you to dinner this week? We can go to a nice vegetarian restaurant. And no one will ask if you're in therapy.
Well, I thought you didn't like blind dates.
Well, no, I don't, but I like you. And I swear, away from my family, I am really, really normal. I'm intelligent and somewhat charming and sensitive, but in a macho sort of way. So you've fallen for any of this?
Maybe.
And maybe's not bad. Not bad at all. My grandmother was right. She did good.
Nick, I have a confession to make.
Oh, no. You have a boyfriend. You have a girlfriend? You're really a man? What?
Nick, I knew you were going to be here tonight. That's the real reason I came. Well, it's just that I've been feeling a little lonely, maybe even a little desperate. Oh, I said that word out loud. But yeah, maybe even a little desperate. And I thought, well, since I liked your grandmother so much, maybe she had a grandson who, well, oh.
So, if I may be so bold, what did you think of Emma's grandson?
Well, that's the thing. Well, you see, seeing you here with all of your grandparents, it made me think of mine.
All right. You said yours are all gone.
Well, I did know my mom's mom, but what I'm trying to say is, you spent the whole evening yelling at them.
Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just how we speak to each other. I take it you and your grandmother didn't speak
No, we never yelled. We used to talk.
Talk. I'll have to try that with them sometime.
Well, actually, my grandmother used to read to me, but not children's stories. You see, when my grandfather died, she used to read these books, these wonderful books, as a way to get through the day without him. When I was about 9, she read me Great Expectations.
Wait, your grandmother read you Dickens in its entirety?
It took 6 months. And you know how people read to children to put them to sleep? Not my grandmother. She read to enthrall me, and I would hold on to her so tight, her voice just covering me like a blanket.
So, Caitlin, how about it? Dinner? Tomorrow night? Are you okay?
Yeah, when I was 13, my grandmother, I'm sorry, Nick. I can't do this with you.
What?
I mean, you seem like an okay guy, but you just acted like such an asshole with them.
What?
Going out with you? I'm sorry, I
No,
can't.
Caitlin, wait! Caitlin! So what you're saying is you're desperate and turning me down?
Well,
You know, you people are unbelievable.
Again, with the you people.
Oh, she burned him down.
First, you invite her over without telling me, which you have no right to do.
Nicholas, don't get upset. I'll get a fruit bowl.
No, man, everybody sit and listen.
do you see anybody standing?
Did any of you take into consideration how I would feel? Did any of you take into consideration how your sneaky little plan, which didn't work, by the way, would infringe on my life? Hell no. And what did you expect to happen? For us to meet, fall in love, and spend the rest of our lives together?
Yes?
Well, it doesn't happen that way.
What happened to us?
That was 150 years ago. Today we do things different. We have careers, we have ambitions. We fall in love with people who we choose, who we pick when we're damn good and ready.
Well, that's the problem right there.
But oh no, you just do what you want because you want me to live my life your way. Well, you know what? Maybe I don't want to get married.
That's crazy.
I'm talking. Maybe I need to find out what I'm about. Maybe I like my life the way I've made it.
What?
You know, now I see why Melissa and my parents really moved away. Because they wanted to live without the constant judgment, criticism, and interference. You know, I was feeling bad about leaving, thinking maybe I shouldn't take the job because I'd be leaving you. But now, no guilt, I'm out of here.
Nicky!
You know, in 1 month, I'm going to get on that plane and fly to a new life. And I'm going to live the way I want to live. And I'm going to date the women I want to date. Not some relative of my name who can ask the partner. And I'm going to go to therapy if I want. And I'm going to eat Chinese food if I want. In fact, I may go to therapy and eat Chinese food there. Because you know what? And you may find this hard to believe, but I am an adult. Standing before you as a fully functioning grown man who is perfectly capable. Who is perfectly capable.
Nicholas!
I can't breathe.
Oh my God, it's a heart attack!
Oh, no. We'll get him in the emergency room quicker.
Nicholas!
Emma,
Nicholas!
go open the front door. Ada, go open the car door. Nuns, help me lift him. I'll drive. So I drove Nick to the hospital without hitting anybody or anything. And that was done under great strain and stress because I thought my grandson was having a heart attack. As it turns out, he did have an attack. A panic attack, they called it. The doctor said he had to rest for a few days in bed and get rid of everything in his life that was making him upset. So we figured the only thing to do was have him stay with us.
You know that song you just heard, Over the River and Through the Woods to Grandmother's House We Go? Such a happy song. Those people going to see their grandparents, they're singing and dancing.
Nicholas, what else can I get you to eat?
Oh man, you've been feeding me non-stop for 2 days now. Can you please open a window? It's really hot in here.
Well, I don't want you to feel a draft.
Man, it's like a sauna. I keep expecting naked fat men in towels to walk by.
Fine, I'll bring you a thinner blanket. Oh, and your other nanny and grandpa are coming over later for cannolis. But before they get here, Seattle, you really might not go, right?
What?
Well, I was thinking, if you were so sure you wanted to leave, then you wouldn't have gotten so upset, so sick.
Wait a minute, man. No.
Well, all I'm saying is that maybe you're absolutely 100% sure you want to leave. But maybe, at the same time, you're absolutely 100% not sure at all.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hear that one more time.
Nicholas, do you remember what you said when you got sick, that you were yelling that your parents didn't want to leave because they didn't want to be around us?
God, man, I am so sorry.
Nicholas, they didn't leave because they didn't want to be around us. No, they saw themselves getting old. They saw their lives being spent in one place, and they got afraid of becoming too much like us.
No, man, that's not right. They just wanted to live in sunshine to enjoy.
Nicholas, people don't move away from their families because of the weather. No, they get afraid. Maybe you are too.
Man, no. That's not
Oh, no,
what I
Nicholas, don't get upset now. Okay, maybe I'm all wrong, Nicholas. Maybe I'm just all wrong, okay? But I'm not.
Yoo-hoo, Nicky! How are you feeling?
Hey, Nicky, you're looking good.
I'm feeling fine.
You were so worried that when you collapsed him like that.
Oh, I know, Nan.
So I got you another mass card. 10:30 mass at St. Anne's a week from Tuesday.
They're gonna have to name the church after me soon.
Hey, Nicky, don't ever do that to us again, huh? We're old, we're the ones that are supposed to get sick, not you.
Oh, Nicholas was getting hot.
No, it's perfect in here.
Hey, everyone, I just want to say what I said a few days ago about leaving and not wanting you to interfere and...
You were sick then.
Yeah, no one listened to a word you said.
We have the perfect way for you to relax. Why don't you come on a vacation with us? We'll pay!
Oh, I don't know, man.
Next month, we're going to be taking another one of those Mario Perillo tours.
Again with the Perillo tours.
What? You had a wonderful time last year.
But you're always going somewhere. You get on the bus, you take a picture. Get on the bus, take a picture. On the bus.
Man, I'm supposed to be in Seattle, man.
Maybe he'll meet a nice girl on the tour.
On a Perillo tour, the girls are all 80 years old.
Mario Perillo is Mr. Italy.
You know, I don't think this trip is going to relax me.
Nick, you rest here a few more weeks, nice and quiet. Then you think about the trip in Seattle some more.
So, what are we gonna do tonight?
Well, just nothing that's going to get Nicky too excited.
Nick, let's play that game you gave us we don't understand. What's it called?
Trivial Pursuit.
That's it, you have to answer things.
Are you up to playing a game like that, Nicky?
No, he's gonna drop dead from the excitement.
Oh, shush.
Look, I'm feeling fine. If you want to play, let's play.
Nicky, guess who I saw at the deli counter at Pathmark this morning? Caitlin O'Hare.
Oh, terrific. Last time you brought her here, you almost killed the poor boy.
Aunt is a wonderful canasta player.
You know, that's exactly what I look for in a woman. Can we just play, please?
Whatever you want, Nicholas.
All right, how about the teams are you and me, Gramps?
Nick, you roll the dice for us and play the game. We'll just come up with the answers.
All right, you're on green.
All right, green.
Everybody ready?
All right.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
go.
Okay.
Nice and quiet, okay? Nice and loud.
Read the question, Gramps. Science and nature.
All right, green question. All right. What is the process by which carbohydrates form? What is the process when they are exposed to light?
What the hell kind of question is that?
That's what it says.
Too hard. Give us another.
Okay. You start
Oh,
with.
wait. That's the whole point. If you can't answer the question, you lose your turn.
What the hell kind of question is that?
It was a science question.
It was about a plant.
Look, it's the first question. They're not thinking hard yet. We'll give them another one just for now.
A good point. I forgot the not thinking hard yet factor.
Well, here's a nice one. Who starred with Grace Kelly in High Noon?
Oh, that is a nice one.
Oh, that
Yeah, the
actor.
guy with the ears.
Oh, I always
That's right, go again.
No, stop. That's the answer on the card. The one with the ears.
No, but I know who they mean.
But they have to tell you who they mean. That's the point. That's the game. That's why it's fun.
Nicky, calm down. Don't have another attack, okay? We'll think about who the guy with the ears is. Okay, nice and calm. Who the hell is the guy with the ears?
I think Humphrey Bogart had ears.
No, he dated Lana Turner.
Oh, right, Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart didn't date Lana Turner.
No.
No, Jimmy Stewart was married to that woman with the hair.
No, yeah, well, Dr. Rose was married to the girl with the hair.
No, that was the other woman with the hair. Jimmy Stewart was married to the woman with the hair with the face.
The girl with the face married to the face.
That was the guy with the feet.
Then who dated Lana Turner?
Yeah, that gangster, she killed somebody.
No, you do want to kill the gangster with the butcher knife. Oh, that's right.
Very nice.
That's right.
What was the question again?
I remember. High Noon.
Yeah, the guy with the ears. What's his name? Going with the wind.
Oh, Clark Gable.
Clark Gable.
Very good, Clark Gable.
Very nice.
You happy?
No, Clark Gable was not in High Noon.
Get out of here, he was.
Did you read the back of the card?
Gary Cooper.
No.
Clark Gable, Lana Turner. Go again.
When Nicholas was in the hospital, I wish there was something wrong with him. Not something terrible, God forbid, but something wrong enough so that he had to stay, so that he couldn't leave us, so I could take care of him. You want to help them so much, just like you did when they were little. Doesn't matter how old they get, you just always want to help them.
What author was appointed U.S. Ambassador to Spain in 1842?
Oh my.
Pick another.
Wait, I know this.
You do not.
Yeah, I do. When you and that Perillo guy dragged me to Spain, they had a statue of this guy. I know this.
What's the answer?
All right, what's your name of your girlfriend there who married the guy that steals the cars?
What?
You mean Irene?
Yeah, Irene. What's Irene's sister's name?
Gramps, do these questions have any vague sort of point?
Shut up, you're sick.
Which one?
The one who drinks.
We all drink.
The one who's not fat.
Apple.
No. Yeah, well, remember that time we saw Ethel at the ShopRite when they were having the special on the frozen foods, buy two, get one free?
That was Food Town.
That was ShopRite.
Food Town is the buy two, get one free special. ShopRite is the double coupon days.
No, God, Mike, there's the big fish in the window.
Gramps, please.
Oh, yeah, right. So remember when we saw, what's her face, Ethel, and we were amazed because she had no teeth. She wasn't drunk and the guy had no teeth.
Yeah?
What was the guy's name?
Oh, it was something.
Yeah, it was Jewish. What's his name?
Hey, and who do we know that's Jewish?
Is Henny Youngman Jewish?
We know Henny Youngman?
Yeah, it's like Eddie Youngman, but different. Who else?
Sid Caesar.
No!
Milton Berle.
No!
Shecky Green.
Gramps, you have the answer.
I'm caught up in the excitement.
Murph, that's you. You're close. Irving. The guy's name was Irving.
So?
The ambassador, Washington Irving.
Holy shit, that's right!
That was the most amazing thing.
Oh, Nicky, you're laughing.
Yeah?
You have been so worried lately. I can't remember the last time I saw you laugh.
Come on.
She's right, Nick.
When we were your age, we were always laughing all the time. We didn't have much of anything, but we were always laughing. We were always having fun. You take things too hard.
Leave the boy alone, Emma.
No, we've all been quiet saying nothing because we don't want to upset him. But I am his nanny and I need to tell him something.
She's gonna give him another attack.
Now, shush. Nikki, you just expect too much. You go looking for the perfect world and you find no one. You spend so much time worrying about so much. Your job, where you're going to live, what it means. You just expect too much.
Listen to your grandmother, Nick.
That's right. Because we never expected the way you expected, Vicky. We were told a good life is when you find a husband and you have kids and you put food on the table and you send your kids to school and you don't die trying. That's a good life. Then we went ahead and told our kids they could have so much more. They could go to any school they want. They can have any job they want. They can meet wonderful people. You've already had so much more than we ever had. And we are so proud. But then you go to a head doctor, and then the whole family moves away, and we never had to do that. So did we give you a better life? Maybe not a worse life, but better. Maybe different. See? I didn't give him an attack.
Well, enough of the game. Who's hungry?
I need some Danish.
No, wait. First, I want to know a story.
No, just let me get the Danish.
No, this is a good story. You don't need food.
There's no such thing.
What kind of story are you telling?
The story of how I won you.
Oh, stop. They've already heard that old story.
No, tell it.
Because he always changes it. Tell us, Munson.
Nicky, you want to hear that story?
As long as it won't get me too excited.
All right. Your grandmother used to live on a 4th floor walk-up not far from here. And every night I used to climb over the fence, sneak into her yard and serenade her.
This is not true.
But then let me tell my story.
Oh, story it is. I never met him. His father dragged me over to my father dragged me over to his house. His father talked to me, my father talked to him, and both fathers told us we were getting married.
It happened over 60 years ago. Would you let me tell it the way I like it? All right, so the first time I saw your grandmother, she was standing on a street corner.
Huh? neighborhood.
What?
If you're gonna tell your story your way, I'm telling my story my way.
All right, well, the first time I saw your grandmother, I'd never seen anything so amazing. She was so beautiful you could drink her from a glass.
I was wrong. Everything he says is true.
Actually, I couldn't talk to her, so I would just watch her get on the bus. But I would wait there all day until another bus dropped her off right at that very spot. And then when she strolled home, I'd follow her. And I'd stand right underneath the window. I did that every night for a month. Every night for a month. I used to sing her this one song. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Anyway, when she came down, I was still too nervous to talk to her. So I just kept on singing. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now. Yes, sir, that's my baby.
Whenever I see an old black and white movie, I can't help but think that that's what life was like in my grandparents' day. That they lived these very black and white lives. Very serious, very earnest, rather joyless. Sometimes, not often, but definitely sometimes, they give me a glimpse into what they were really like. And suddenly, their past would be splashed with color. And I'd get a glimpse of them when they were young and sexual, and their whole lives were laid out before them.
Nicholas, I need
Sir,
a
I
timer.
don't mean maybe, yes, sir. That's my baby now.
Oh, who's hungry?
What do you say, you and I, go home, man?
Nikki, do you mind if we leave a little early?
No, go.
This is why we want you married. This is the reason.
Frank, hey, let's see you tomorrow. Yes, sir, that's my baby, no, sir.
Well, I guess I'll just clean up.
Feeling better, Nick?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. You know, it's funny. I can't remember when I've all seen you like that before.
Because you're never here, Nick.
What are you talking about? I'm here every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday, like a habit, like going to church. You're never here, Nick.
Hey, Gramps. How about another story?
I can't tell stories like nuns.
No, I mean one that's all true. Tell me what it was like to leave your family.
What do you want to know about that now for, Nick?
He was a fisherman, right? Well, why did he make you leave?
You know, Nick, the problems with old stories is you tell them and you realize that people don't change. People keep doing the same things over and over again. When I was a young boy, on Christmas morning, on the cobblestones in our street, there would appear this sea of vendors, their carts covered with toys. But what I remember most, Nick, was the colors, beautiful colors, blues, reds, oranges, like a rainbow of toys. And my father would pick me up and carry me out to the first cart. And he'd point to some tiny dark toy, and I'd point to the biggest and most colorful. And my father would shake his head no, and we'd move on to the next. And I picked another beautiful toy, and he shook his head again no, and we moved on. And after that, I said, we came up to another cart, and he bought me a little gray toy, which I barely wanted. I started to cry. He picked me up and carried me back into the house. I resented him for that. I hated him for that. And when I was 14, he put me on a boat to America. He said, goodbye, that's where you're going to live. I hated him for that, too. And not long after that, he got tangled in the fishing net that they threw him into the water. And he hit his head on the side of the boat, and they never found him. 8 years to the day that he sent me away, I returned to my homeland so my brothers and sisters could meet my new family. And I picked up your mother in my arms, I carried her outside, and there they were. All the vendors with their blues, reds, and beautiful toys. And your mother would pick the brightest and the prettiest. It didn't matter. You know what she pointed at, I bought for her. And after a while, we came back to the house, our arms full of this rainbow of toys, and my mother took one look and said, "That's what your father wished he could do." But we barely had enough to buy food on Christmas. And that's why he had to send you away, so you could make for yourself a life that he could never give you. I always thought my father was a bastard who wouldn't give me anything. It turns out he gave me everything he had. You're going away, aren't you, Nicholas?
There's a moment when I wake up each morning and I don't remember that I'm sick. It only lasts for a few seconds, but it's like a little gift that I get at the start of each day. That night, I told my Emma. First time I ever cried about it was when she began to cry. I made her promise not to tell anyone. That's for me to do. It'd be so selfish for me to tell him. So selfish. But when you get to be my age, the only thing that matters is family. The only thing that matters is family. And what's in Seattle but just some job?
Hi there, Nick.
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine.
Can I?
Oh, yes, sure. Come in. I'm wearing my grandfather's pajamas, but sure.
Well, I hope I'm not intruding. But I bumped into Emma the other day.
Oh, right, at Pathmark. Or Food Town. No, Pathmark has the big fish in the window. God, I've been here too long.
Well, she said that after I left, you collapsed.
Yeah, that's true. Boy, that's hard to explain.
Well, she said you had a panic attack because I rejected you.
God,
I hope it really wasn't because of me.
Oh, no.
Because when guys ask me out, I usually don't call them an asshole.
Oh, good. You probably get more dates that way?
Caitlin!
Ada, hello.
Oh, what a wonderful surprise! You look hungry.
She has this remarkable sense.
Let me give you a little something.
Oh, no, I just came to see how Nick was doing.
Oh, he's doing much better. He just gets a little nervous.
I used to chew on my rattle.
Let me just go fix you a little something.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Ada.
no trouble, no trouble.
You have 3 minutes before she comes back with a fully dressed 12-pound butterball turkey.
I am sorry about what I said the other day. You didn't deserve what I said. It's just that, well, when I was 13 and my grandmother was in the midst of reading me The Old Man and the Sea, well, some days when I'd visit, she'd read with such excitement and joy, and other days she wouldn't let me in the door. She didn't think she knew me. She would stand there in a panic, screaming at me to leave her alone, her eyes darting back and forth.
I'm sorry.
That look in her eyes still haunts me. And I'm sorry too, Nick. I should have told you that the other day.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the way she was sitting, or the way the light was hitting her face, or maybe the fact that a woman who had rejected me had come back to apologize. I don't know. But at that moment, she struck me as the most intelligent and beautiful woman on the planet. And I wanted her to like me so much. Just then I had a horrible thought. Could my grandmother actually be right? Do I not really want to move? Could all I really need to be happy is the right woman? Oh my God.
So Emma said you might move to Seattle. She said you have a job offer.
Right, promotion. A terrific one, actually.
Great. You know anyone there?
No, just the promotion.
Well then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. I have to go. I'm on shift in half an hour, and I can't be late. There are sick animals that need nursing, so.
Caitlin,
Yes.
I know you already said no, but I'd still like to take you out. You know, on a real date, with no relatives.
But you're leaving for Seattle?
Right, but I've been thinking maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should stay. I don't know.
Well, what happens if we go out and we find out we like each other and we decide to move?
Well, I don't know.
I really have to go, Nick. The date offer was nice, but I would just sit there the whole time hoping I didn't like you. And that's just too weird. All right, well, take care of yourself.
Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe.
Excuse me?
Well, if that song worked, it's golden.
Wow. Well, all right. All right. If you don't move to Seattle, then all right, call me. And a date with no relatives. You're on. But if you decide to move, then go. Start over. Sometimes you just have to be a little bit selfish. You know, just now when I didn't immediately agree to go out with you, that was one of the most mature things I've ever done.
Here we are.
Nunzio and I have been married for 55 years. Just close your eyes and imagine that. 55 years. That's what Nicky doesn't understand. By trying to plan out his life so much, by never getting married, he missed all that. He's never going to know what it's like, how love can deepen to places you can't even imagine. 55 years.
Nuns, how about another pillow?
Oh, no, I'm fine,
Oh,
sweetheart.
no, get another pillow, make you more comfortable.
I'll get you another one, Nuns.
I'm fine. There you are, Nicky. We're starving.
Oh, thank God.
Why are you so late?
We thought maybe you might have had another attack on the train.
Good thing I was here to entertain the crowd for you, Nick.
Sorry, I had a special session with my head doctor this morning. We had a lot to talk about.
Did you talk about your panic attack?
Yeah,
What did he say?
so calm down.
And for that, you pay the money?
Enough. Dinner's waiting. Everything came beautiful. Come.
Oh, wait, before we eat, I have something I'd like to say.
No. Come on, let's eat. You're late. Mangiamo.
No, it's important. It's about Seattle.
Okay, Nicky.
Well, let me just say, last week when I spent those days here, that was a really special time for me. It just seemed like maybe we talked more than we ever had, or maybe we connected a little bit better. I don't know.
It was beautiful to have you here, Nicholas.
And I'm getting older, and so are you. And I would really, really like us to spend more time together like that.
Oh, Nicky, you're staying. Oh.
I would really, really like us to spend more time together like that in the next few weeks. I am taking the promotion. I leave in a month.
Oh, Nicky.
But look, it won't be so bad. The flight's not awful, you know. You can all come visit whenever you'd like. The promotion, it's just too good. I've worked so hard for it. It could be the start of something really exciting for... I would just appreciate if you could all understand.
No. No. I don't understand, Nicholas. I don't. How can you, Nicholas? We're here, Nicholas. Everything is here.
you want me to say now, Nick, huh? Stay, please don't leave us, go, you have my blessing? I can't say any of that, Nick, I can't.
Gramps, please.
No matter what I say, what anybody says, you're gonna leave us. Everybody goes. I wish I could be more like my father. Watch you sail away and know it's for the best. I can't do that, Nick. I can't. I worked all my life so my family. I'm not good at saying things, Nick. I just don't want you to go. Nuts! Your grandmother's made for us a beautiful meal. Mangiamo!
Nicholas, your grandfather has something he's got to tell you.
Emma!
No, he's got to tell you.
Gramps. Gramps, is something? Gramps, is something wrong?
Mickey, remember when I told you that I've been thinking about your Uncle Mickey lately?
Yeah.
The reason I've been thinking about him, well, I was thinking about when we had to say goodbye. It's strange, you know. He'd have been in his 50s now. I always think that I should be able to picture him as older, having lived the life that he should have lived. No. All I can picture is this perfect young man standing there in his uniform, waving goodbye. And I knew how dangerous Korea was. Oh, I knew. But all I could do is just stand there and wave back. But inside, Nicky, inside, I wish there was something I could say, something I could do, anything that would make him stay. But there was nothing, Nick. There was nothing. And now you're leaving. Mickey, let me ask you something, and you tell me the truth, okay? You tell me the truth.
I will.
That day when you were having your attack and you were yelling about something, about having to know what you were about or something. What did you mean?
I was upset then, Gramps. I didn't mean...
Nick, one thing I've learned in life is that when people are upset, that's when they mean what they say. What did you mean, Nicholas? Tell me.
I don't know, Gramps. It's just, I've grown up here. I've spent my whole life here with you, and it's wonderful. It's all so wonderful. And I am so grateful. But I just don't need it anymore. I'm sorry if that sounds awful, but I just don't. I've got to make my life something of my own doing. And there's an opportunity for me in Seattle, a chance to give myself something more. God, I'm sorry if that sounds selfish.
So Seattle, then, it's not just about some job, then. It's something that you feel that you have to do for you, to be happy.
Yes, Gramps. I'm sorry.
And you know this as much as you know anything?
Absolutely, Gramps.
Okay, man. Okay.
But Gramps, what you had to tell me?
No, it's nothing.
No, but you said...
What I wanted to say, Nicholas, what I wanted to tell you, I will always be with you. So be good. No. You have to tell me. No.
Nicky,
Nan?
dinner came beautiful. Mangiamo.
Nan, is something wrong?
Nicky, I really thought you'd had a chance with Caitlin. I really did. Oh.
With all the hassles that changing both jobs and cities bring, I had little time to spend with them those final few weeks. And that last Sunday seemed to arrive so quickly. And I wish I knew what the right formula was. How much do you owe those who care for you? Can you ever repay someone for such devotion? Can it ever be be enough?
Realize, Nicky, that in your honor, your grandfather left the air conditioner running today.
Yeah, I thought I could breathe.
It was a beautiful meal, wasn't it, Nicholas?
Stunning, man.
We made all your favorites, gnocchi and veal parmesan and tiramisu and biscotti. You're not gonna get a meal like that in Seattle.
Oh, I know that, man. Hey, man. Man, I'm sorry, man.
For what?
For leaving and for, well, I don't know.
Maybe, honey, you're not sorry.
No, man, I am.
Maybe you feel bad for us because you love us, but you're not sorry. And I think that's a good thing. You have a wonderful life ahead of you in Seattle. Why waste your time being sorry? If I was sorry for every sad thing that ever happened in my life, I'd never get out of bed anymore. One thing I know for sure, though, Nikki, you can't keep the people you love the most around forever. You can pray, and you can scream, and you can cry, but you can't keep them forever. Funny, you know, I never really thought you looked like your Uncle Nicky. You were named for him, but I never could really see him in you. But now, as I look at you, you look exactly like him. Nicky, just be happy. There's nothing for you to be sorry about, okay?
Say, Nicholas, did your grandfather tell you?
What?
He's selling the car.
No, he didn't mention.
Last week he was trying to drive his ukulele lesson, and he dented the back fender. Guess how? Pulling out of the garage. He didn't even make it to the street. Oh, thank God no one was killed.
Before I forget, I got you another mascot.
Wouldn't have left town without one, man. Hey, Gramps. Man just told me you're selling the car.
I'm bored with driving.
No, that's terrific. I would have been worried about you.
Don't you ever worry about me.
Well, my taxi should be here any minute.
Nicholas, for the plane trip, I made you a lasagna.
Man, I can't take a lasagna on the plane.
Why not?
I don't know, it just seems like something you can't do.
Fine, I'll mail it to you.
You're gonna put a lasagna in the mail?
I just mailed your sister 12 pounds of fettuccine Alfredo.
All right. Well, that's me. So I'll see you soon, okay? Real soon, all right? So no goodbyes, no goodbyes.
Goodbye, Nick.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I forgot the rules. Goodbye, Nicholas.
Gramps, come on.
Tango for me, Nicola. Tango for me. You know what that means. Go.
Call us when your plane lands.
Don't spend any money.
Yeah, let the phone ring twice.
You know, you're all really something, you know that? I hope you know. I have to do this. I have to.
I love you, Nicholas.
Bye, Nicholas. Be safe.
Be safe.
Love you.
Who's hungry?
He's going. How can you think of food now? Maybe some provolone. Everybody goes.
So I caught my flight, and 6 hours later I was in Seattle, my new home. 2 days later, a 15-pound lasagna arrived for me in the mail. My new job, loved it. More responsibility, more challenging. And within a month, I started dating this account executive from my office, Teresa, who I immediately knew was pretty special. 2 months, I returned home to my grandparents to attend the funeral of my grandfather Menzies. He died from prostate cancer, which had spread to his liver and his kidneys. My grandmother told me that they had known about it before I left, but they didn't feel right to burden me. Burden me? How could they not have said anything? Anything at all? If any one of them did, no question, I would have stayed.
A few years after Nicholas left, my Frank, my baby, passed on. Emma still had dinner with me every night for almost a year after that, until she, too, suffered a severe stroke. God rest them. I still make myself 2 meals a day and a little something special on Sunday. And I still get to see my Nicholas. Because of his job, he flies to New York often, and he always pays his grandmother a visit.
Nan, it's me.
Nicholas!
Oh, how are you, Nan? God, it's hot in here.
You look hungry. Let me put the ravioli in the water.
No, Nan, I'm sorry. The conference ran long. I can only stay a few minutes. I have to catch my flights.
But the water's boiling. It'll just take a second.
Nan, let's not eat. Let's just sit and talk. I have something to tell you.
But the ravioli looks beautiful.
Oh, Nan. Nan, I'm moving.
Oh, Nicholas, back home.
To Portland. I got a promotion, a vice president, a terrific one.
Teresa's going with you,
No, she's gonna stay in Seattle for now.
but you're engaged.
Right, well, we'll fly back and forth on weekends. It's called a commuter relationship. Very modern, very annoying. Look, man, I had this idea. Move with me to Portland. It's actually a beautiful city.
Nicholas,
Man, you've lived here your whole life. Taking care of Grandpa all the time. Move with me to Portland. You won't have to take care of anyone. And I'll take you out to eat every night. I would love to give that to you. There's no one here for you anymore.
Nicholas, do you know where I've always wanted to go for years and years? Atlantic City. That's right. Nuns and Emma always came back with such stories. What your grandfather, oh, he would have no part of such a fancy place. So one day, I left my plate in the icebox and I went. But you know what? I didn't like it. No, the whole time I was there, I was wishing I was back home, taking care of your grandfather. I had to take care of him, Nicholas. He needed me to so much. How many people can get to be my age and can say that there was someone who needed them so much? I can say that, Nicholas. I can't go. Not from here. Your grandfather built this house for me. How can I go? Stay for dinner, please.
Okay. Okay. Not long after, I achieved what my grandparents considered to be the greatest accomplishment known to man. I married. Tengo familia. And now, when Teresa and I sit home in Portland awaiting the birth of our first child, my mind often wanders back to those final few days spent with my grandparents. And I wish I could neatly sum up who they were and what they meant to me and how they fit into the puzzle of my life. But what I'm most sure about is that my grandparents worked every day of their lives to ensure that their family would be more educated and more successful than them. But what they didn't foresee is that they would elevate me to a life so far removed from their own that they could barely comprehend who I had become or how I would continue their legacy. And when I looked back, I too saw only a vague reflection of myself. But still, they let me leave. They got me to laugh. And to this day, I get great food in the mail